थप्पड़ की गूंज. सुनी तुमने ये थप्पड़ की गूंज? You know where this dialogue comes from, right? Karma. The film 1986 where Dilip Kumar and Anupam Kher's Dr. Dang. So when he remembers he was slapped by Dilip Kumar. So when it's his time to take revenge, he will have this particular dialogue. थप्पड़ की गूंज राणा सुनने में आया ये है थप्पड़ की गूंज. So he gives him a sedative, knocks him out. So why am I saying this dialogue in this episode of the Dugout? Because we are going to start with the slap that apparently wasn't. DC KKR, although didn't have that much of action during the match, yes, Kolkata were bossing it. But what happened afterwards? Do dost, Jai Viru, in this case, KULDEEP and RINKU, were playfully indulging in some conversation. But then, one slap and a second slap. I thought that...
So first one wasn't tight enough?
Wasn't tight enough. The second one also. RINKU... That expression is meme-worthy. Let's make it very clear. The expression that RINKU had was meme-worthy in itself. I thought, history repeating itself after 17, 18 years.
So was there retaliation?
Apparently no.
Okay.
Apparently there wasn't, because what happened is KKR have put out a video. You can check that video. We have done that video. You can check out what is it that KKR has said about this. But it is Sansani, never to say the least. They have titled it Sansani. So do check that out. That video will be out soon.
But why? I have a strict objection to it. Why are we discussing it? You're making a mountain out of a molehill. There are lots of people on social media, some with blue ticks and some, known people in their field. They are also making a big deal out of it. I saw it this morning and I just could not hold myself from laughing. I mean, it is just two friends. It's a playful banter. It is no anger, nothing. It has nothing like what happened in Shrikant and Harbhajan Singh's case, because people are drawing that comparison. That stemmed out of anger, irritation, whatever. And there was an inquiry. Here, neither of the player have an issue. Neither of the franchises have an issue. Nobody has taken it amiss, but for social media warriors, and they are just using that much of a clip and putting it out, and it's become, I can't understand. Like, two friends can't even, if you ever catch me with my friends, this will be a common thing that would be done. I can't
IPL
understand.
is, after all, if you give social media and IPL that combo, their job is to do only Rai ka Pahad ya Til ka Taad banana. That's what they do. That's how the IPL functions.
But why are you discussing it on this esteemed program called the Dugout, which only is a serious sports platform that discusses serious things? If it was really a serious thing, then it would have
to dispel that notion, so that your voice could be heard. That yes, you need not make a mountain out of a molehill.
RINKU was totally taken aback. He didn't see it come.
He was not. This is that. No. That is that fake anger that you show your friend, na? Fake anger. That if it was, KULDEEP slapped him the second time also in fun.
The second time is fine. First time it felt like a
They are
bolt out of the blue.
But they are good friends.
Yeah, they are.
But this is all fun.
As I said, Sansani. If IPL cannot do without these three things, and social media can't do these three things, na? Til ka Taad, Rai ka Pahad, and Sansani, then social media in India will cease to exist here. Conspiracy theories will be galore, and all these kind of things will be galore. We brought this up in the esteemed program of the Dugout to dispel that notion.
Yes, and because today there's the news of the caste census doing the round in Bihar, people are even tying this up to that one comes from backward class and the other. But I just want to say, because I can see comments
one
there.
such comment, but that's utter hogwash.
That is hogwash. No, but in general, he's even got his facts wrong. Yadavs are not upper caste. If you follow the caste system, I do not. I'm just putting the facts out there. Even that he does not know. Whoever has written those kind of comments. At least they need to be briefed about that as well. Na? They don't even know that.
Exactly.
Less said, the better about the collective IQ of our keyboard warriors. The better. Seriously.
We can't add it up, na? Because it'll be below room temperature. That's how the collective IQ is of all the social media warriors. Yeah, but okay.
In all of this, Shivam, don't forget the most important thing I told you to do. Yes.
But
Carry on.
also from the Raika Pahad, let us move to another good news. Rohit turns 38 year today. April 30th, 1987. Hitman Sharma was born.
Oh, let's do a little activity before we get into the main subject at hand. I'm seeing a lot of press conferences of his doing the rounds. People are finding ways of wishing him the way he would wish himself or the way he usually speaks. How about we recall one funny Rohit moment that's stuck with us? It could be from a presser, it could be from what he said on the field. I remember him telling Pujara to run faster. And you know, there are other things that come to your mind when you think of Rohit Sharma. The fun side of Rohit Sharma. How about we
The best is
recall?
We should wish him the way he wished MS Dhoni. Birthday में आप क्या बोलते हैं?
Happy birthday.
He wished MS. He was asked in the press conference that क्या कहते हैं? Birthday में क्या बोलते हैं? Happy birthday.
Indeed.
So that we'll also wish him like that, like he wished. But I remember one funny thing in the press conference. That was again that 2019 World Cup only, where he said, "You guys only wanted Rishabh Pant. Where is Rishabh Pant? Where is Rishabh Pant? Here he is, batting at number 4." Remember that.
What about you?
There's actually too many to choose from. The one that really sticks out, I think, is from the Champions Trophy, where people, when this trophy is kept right on the table, right next to him, and like, तुम लोगों को पता नहीं है क्या लगता है इसको लाने में?
I have 3 instances. One, I think when they won the Asia Cup. अरे यार बाहर ये शोर हो रहा है यार थोड़ा रुक जाओ. They were bursting those crackers ना. So he was quite अरे रुक जाओ यार रुक जाओ.
I think he also said World Cup के बाद, World Cup जीतने के बाद.
हाँ, he said. अरे अभी रुक जाओ ये वर्ल्ड कप जीतने के बाद फोड़ना. That was in
Asia Cup.
Yeah, in Colombo. In
wasn't it in the final when?
It was in the final. Yes.
It was in the final. And second,
Yeah.
his forgetful
Colombo.
nature. He doesn't even pick up the trophy, forgets it.
When did that happen?
You remember in that Champions Trophy, he was like walking out, "Arey trophy to le jao." Acha, he took the trophy. That also. He forgets phones, he forgets passports, everything. I had one very funny thing with him in 2017 when he won the IPL. It was in Hyderabad, they won that 1-run victory over RPS. So I said, "Yaar, you keep Mitchell Johnson only to help you win IPL titles or what?" Because he wasn't there in 14. He was there in 13. He came back in 17. He won them the title. So he had a lot of laughter in that. When I asked him, "Yaar, you keep Mitchell Johnson only to help you win IPL titles." So that was one.
Or that time when he came for the press conference. Chalao Tir. He came and sad when you lost to New Zealand.
He reminds me of Sunil Shetty. येड़ा अन्ना आवारा पागल दिया. अरे वो बोले तो वो जिसमें पंख होता है यार, हाँ जिसमें हम बैठते हैं. अच्छा एरोप्लेन. अच्छा हाँ वही. That is Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma and येड़ा अन्ना सुनील शेट्टी.
उसने वहाँ बोला था.
हाँ उसने वहाँ बोला था. अरे किधर बोला था? अरे जहाँ पर वो ये होता है ना वहीं पे. हाँ. That is Rohit Sharma, and never change Rohit for that. That's why.
He's actually, his middle name should be unfiltered.
नहीं Bindas. Rohit Bindas Sharma. Because he has that typical Mumbai Bindasgiri in him. That's why. But never change Rohit. Keep those quips in the press conference going. But also avoid the fact that he said, no one sitting with a keyboard, pen and that
Will
was
decide my future.
Exactly.
A mic in their hand.
Unless he was auditioning for a Bollywood movie. That dialogue then should be imprinted. But apart from that, great. But yaar, Sydney mein what happened? Not needed yaar. But apart from that, Rohit, happy birthday, happy 38th birthday. And continue to be strong. And be the hitman that you are. And yes, Let's see.
So he's going to England then?
Yes.
That's the birthday present.
Oh, I don't know. I'm asking. Siddharth seems to know it. So
He is.
Yes.
He is going. I mean, if the BCCI are not so sure about who their next captain is, they don't have a confidence in Shubman Gill. Rishabh Pant also, they seem to be lacking on. Bumrah, we don't know about his fitness, whether he can last all 5 tests. You will play Rohit. And whatever it is, if he has a good IPL and if Mumbai do the unthinkable, win it for the 6th time, and if Rohit has a good time with the bat, will you not want to take him? Imagine the outburst that will happen. Imagine the outcry that will happen. They'll persist with him until July. Then let's see in the home leg what happens. Because that is in October, November. So, but we know he's playing until 2027. He is playing the ODI World Cup. So that is why if he extends his test career also, it won't be surprising. So yes, he is going to England. That's
Already discussed.
We discussed that. He wasn't here, he had gone to. Yep. So talking about IPL wins, I mean,
Garden में घूमने वाले.
epic.
You've forgotten that.
That is the most epic comment
Garden
of
में
Rohit
घूमने आए
Sharma.
हो?
That was for Sarfaraz, na?
For 2-3
Jurel.
youngsters.
Yashasvi
Youngsters.
also, no?
All youngsters.
Youngsters.
Yeah.
Garden में घूमने आए, yes. Or even the other one, he corrected, यार bat लगा
Viru leg by लिया क्या?
But yeah. That was in the
Bengaluru.
Afghanistan series.
Ah,
na?
Bengaluru, yes.
He got ducks, I think, first couple
Yeah.
of matches.
हाँ,
Matches duck
यार
and then he
Viru,
got runs.
क्या leg by दिया क्या?
bat लगा यार. Oh,
Yeah,
Rohit. हाँ, he said. निखिल ने बोल दिया.
Yeah.
These two producers today are half asleep.
One wasn't around, the other doesn't want to be around.
Yeah.
Okay, if you had to, before we dive into our main, if you had to wish something for Rohit Sharma for the coming year, what wish would you have?
Test runs. Clearly that wasn't the present that he got last year. I hope he gets it this year.
If you could gift him something.
If I could gift him something, if I could borrow test runs from someone, let's say Sachin Tendulkar, since he has so many in abundance, I would gift that to Rohit Sharma. I think he's in desperate need of that gift.
Finish your story in 2027. Tick that one box.
So what are you going to gift him? A World Cup?
A
50
World
over
Cup.
World
Yes, a 50 over World Cup.
Cup. That's your gift. But I said the coming year, because that will have a chance again in 2026, na? This
Coming
year
year,
is
just be bindas. Continue to be bindas.
I'll gift him some bhige hue badam. As Virat Kohli once said.
Yes.
So that his memory is sharp as ever. Or I could gift him or wish for him that he gets a better Real Madrid team next season, because this year they've been disastrous, to say the least.
Yeah.
So I can empathize with him and hope he gets a better team to cheer for. He's been a long-term Real Madrid fan.
KULDEEP is Barcelona, right?
Yeah.
KULDEEP is
So I
Barcelona.
can gift him some long-term.
Yes, he can be a Madridista.
He'll be happy with this gift. I'm
Yes.
sure he will.
Yeah.
He plays fantasy football with his friends, I know that.
Rohit?
Yeah.
That, I wonder how he does, because...
he makes his team.
Yeah, because I missed the deadline this week and I paid a heavy price for it. But matter of hours, you miss it and it's gone.
No, he makes it. Plays and then competes with his friends, like childhood friends who've been there for long.
Did I tell you guys, for the longest time, I was also on this league where the chief selector used to play fantasy league on.
You told.
He's also a United supporter. Yes.
I know, and he also plays.
Yeah,
I know.
very...
Many United supporters. There is MS Dhoni, Yuvraj Singh.
Oh.
All of them are United fans.
Does Ajay follow any?
No, not much.
No. Sunny, sir?
No, he's a default Arsenal fan. He's not a regular watcher, but he just supports United. So he's like
Rohan.
Rohan. Yeah,
Rohan's a Man U supporter.
massive. Rohan has gone for many Champion Leagues and other cup finals and all. He's travelled to watch United.
Was he there in the 99 thing when they achieved the
I think he may have been. It's a possibility. He sure has been for a few big games. But he's a massive United fan.
There's a big one tonight as well.
There is a big one tonight, yes. First leg, so not
But
going to decide.
Barcelona
anything.
are sweeping it off.
I mean, they are the favorite team, but as I told Harshit the other day, Champions League you can never say. It's a funny competition.
You know, Barcelona was
It's like
given the least
IPL.
percentage by Opta, and I was surprised when I looked at those numbers. Barcelona, surprisingly, by Opta were given the least percentage. The maximum, I think, went to Arsenal to progress into the final. I think it was
PSG, na?
But PSG stunned everyone yesterday.
But PSG won yesterday.
And they were very good. They were very
Yeah,
good.
they should have scored 3-4.
Easy.
Sitters they missed. I hope it doesn't come back to bite them.
Indeed.
I'm not a PSG fan, but there's Luis Enrique as coach, so but in that sense,
There's-
even AajTak as
There's
well. Also,
Dembele as
Barca.
well that you don't want.
No, Dembele is fine. I think it's okay. Whatever.
Came
He
back to
played-
haunt you guys last year.
Yeah,
Dembele.
that's okay.
Yeah.
But Dembele played for Barcelona many years.
And of course, they have the legend, Luis Enrique.
Yeah, Luis Enrique is a coach, but so was AajTak. Also is a ex-Barcelona player. So okay.
Anyhow,
Let's dive into what we're
subject
here to
at hand.
discuss.
That's foreign players that we're talking about.
The greatest foreign player in the history of IPL.
We just decided to make
So-
life difficult for ourselves because we thought there was room left after we picked the best match thus far in the tournament. We also decided we zeroed in on the biggest blunders and the epic strategies or tactical moments. We thought let's also try with whatever little brain cells that we're left with, fully functional. Let's try and exhaust those as well today and do the difficult job of finding out who is it that we feel has been the standout or the best or all-time foreign player to played in the IPL.
So overseas GOAT.
Yes.
You're looking at
Overseas
IPL's
GOAT.
overseas GOAT.
Because
They're
domestic
trying to
GOAT
find.
though will be a debate that'll go on for a couple of days.
No, that we leave. That you cannot have.
Yeah.
So overseas
That'll
GOAT
be
in
very
the
divisive.
IPL is what we are going to be looking at. What we've done is we've zeroed in on a few names. I think there are 10 names in all, if I'm not mistaken, that we could come up with, which have, which can be considered the GOAT. And the other thing that we are not making a distinction is that we are not making a different list for batters and not for bowlers. We have a suggestion by Priyanshu in Kareem Jannat, but we'll pass on that one, Priyanshu. Thanks for your suggestion.
For country and for club, he's consistent.
But we're going to pass on that suggestion. So we have zeroed ourselves with 10 names. Those names are Chris Gayle, Shane Watson, Sunil Narine, Kieron Pollard, DJ Bravo, AB de Villiers, Joss Butler, David Warner, Lasith Malinga and Rashid Khan. Those are the 10 names that we have for you. And to throw open the debate, we will ask Harshid or Siddharth, who wants to?
I can go.
Okay.
It's difficult. It is very, very difficult. There are some very illustrious names out there. But for me, the one name that features in both the lists, there's only a couple of names that feature in both the lists. And that is what makes my job easy.
Was it difficult for you? It wasn't very difficult for me.
Yeah, because when we look at this list, as I said, there's only a few names that feature in both the lists. And there's one that stand out in those names as well, and that's Kieron Pollard. He's the man of the big moments with the ball, with the bat, in the field as well. Now, what this doesn't represent is the tremendous work that he's done on the field as well, especially when he's been fielding and taking all those catches in the deep, right on the edge of the boundary. Again, when we try and recall his knocks, there's so many of them, you'll find it difficult to name the top three. So for the fact that he's always been there in the crucial moments, and the trophy tally speaks for itself. He's got 5 titles, the only one on that list to have 5 titles as well, and could do both things for you. Kieron Pollard for me.
+1.
Ooh.
3 years ago, you would remember, Nikhil, we had this, who is the greatest IPL overseas GOAT? We had done a quiz, remember, we had to do a presentation. 3 of us, yes. And in that, I had argued that Kieron Pollard is the greatest.
Is this the same thing in which we were torn between Russell and him?
No, I was torn between NARINE and Pollard.
Okay.
And who are the others going for?
They were going for Lasith Malinga, AB de Villiers, and Christopher Henry Gale. But for me, I argued for Kieron Pollard vehemently for one simple reason. The only guy in the list who won 5 IPL titles with the same team. You look at 13, you look at 19, you look at all the other instances in clutch moments, there has been no greater player than Kieron Pollard. In the field, as you mentioned, even with the ball, very underrated. But CSK are today tied with Mumbai Indians on 5 titles only because of Kieron Pollard. 3 titles. He just let you lose. He just let Chennai Super Kings. Imagine 2013, his cameo. Had he not hit that, they would have, Mumbai Indians would have lost. But boy, oh boy. And MS Dhoni had to devise something special for Kieron Pollard to be out in 2010 because he realized
Hayden,
he was...
When that Hayden field set he changed, yeah.
From that moment until 2021, Kieron Pollard never stopped hurting Chennai Super Kings. 2021 even, 220 chase in Delhi. 87. Chennai Super Kings' ultimate nightmare in IPL is not a team, it's one individual, and that's Kieron Pollard. That's why, +1 even for me. The greatest ever to have played in the IPL.
Ooh, okay. So, I had 2 names in mind, and I'm happy to report that one of them was Kieron Pollard. And I was debating between the 2. But so that we have some sort of diversity in what we have picked, I have gone for somebody else, and I have gone with Sunil Narine as the GOAT of them all, and I'll give you my reasons for it. I agree with all points you guys have made for Kieron Pollard, and which is why he was one of my 2 contenders. I was only going to choose between a Narine and a Pollard. But I think that if you just look at the numbers, in terms of batting, that's where Pollard is way ahead of a Narine. But just Narine almost has half the runs. He's 50% there in terms of what Pollard has got. Can I say with a much better strike rate than Kieron Pollard? And that's saying something. That's really saying something, because Pollard, I think the only thing that you cannot ever fault him for is strike rate. He was so good at that. So to even better that in batting, I'm just talking about batting, Narine had that and has almost 50% of the runs that Pollard had. From being a bowler says a lot. And then when you look at the bowling, there is no comparison in terms of what Narine has got and what Narine has about 3 times the wickets of a Kieron Pollard, having played the same amount of games. Narine has a economy of 7 versus 9, which is a big difference in T20 cricket. I mean, if you're a 7 economy bowler versus a 9, just changes. So in bowling, he's so far ahead of Pollard, there's not even a contest. And in batting, he's behind Pollard, but still on some paramounts there. So, and the other thing why I went with him, which is the more important thing, Kieron Pollard is retired. I think Narine might still have a few seasons left with him. So can you imagine where he can end up in terms of how many games he plays, what he can achieve? So for that reason, I've gone with a Sunil Narine. The other thing where Pollard was better than Narine is the number of titles. He's got 5-3. But I feel that, again, I agree with the contribution that Pollard has made for titles, completely agree. But so has Narine. He's quietly, been the best bowler. On an occasion, he'll be the title with his all-round performance as well, with his batting and bowling. And every season he comes in consistently. And I just want, sometimes we take his consistency for granted. And even though he may not have picked a lot of wickets, his economy outstanding. And that's where I give an example of a Rashid Khan, who till one time looked as good as Narine and sometimes even better. But see, he's reached a situation where he's been found out. We've seen it with a Varun Chakravarti also. Has had good seasons, has a bad season, he gets found out. And in that environment where bowlers get found out, for a Sunil Narine to maintain that mystery and that effectiveness for more than a decade, at that consistency every season in and out. He may have had marginal drops or highs, but those have been marginal. He's never had a season where he's looked very ordinary like a Rashid has had or a Varun Chakravarti had. I mean, I'm talking about similar bowlers. So to have that consistency for so many years and still hold a mystery about you and be that successful, I think it takes a lot. So my candidate is Sunil Narine as the GOAT, overseas GOAT of IPL.
I mean, can't argue with any of it because who can remember?
Even I can't argue with the Pollard because there are valid reasons. But as I said, there is no one way of...
Because which spinner can you trust to bowl the final over of a T20? You can't. I mean...
Kunal Pandya.
No. That's once in a blue moon, na, Krunal. But then, okay, quiz.
No,
Name the bowler.
Nikhil made a very valid point the other day. It was RCB's Nawaz moment. It's just that he came better than Nawaz did.
Exactly. That shows how better Virat was at Melbourne that day. But Narine is the only bowler in the history of this sport to bowl a super over maiden.
Imagine, yeah. Just imagine.
That is the impact of this guy. I can safely say, even if it is 8 or 7, there are 2 bowlers who I can trust that, okay, they will defend it.
Both on this list.
No.
Yeah.
Both. But then there is also Jasprit. Give him 7 or 8, he can defend it. Same with Sunil Narine. But of course, my second GOAT is that.
Yeah, same.
Any other...
His second GOAT is exactly that person. If
Sunil Narine.
No. The other one.
Lasith Malinga.
Yes.
Lasith Malinga.
You can't...
I've never agreed with that so much.
Yeah. So your first is Pollard, second is Malinga. Malinga also I agree.
This time I'm surprised that, even when we spoke cryptically right now, we managed to understand each other.
He changed the way T20 bowling should be. Malinga, yes. Lasith, or as Harbhajan would say, Latis Malinga.
My second would be a Pollard. But that's only second and they should be in bracket. Your GOAT is your GOAT.
Yeah.
Those are just honorable mentions. We just had to pick one. So everything else is just honorable mentions.
Yes.
You have to pick the one that you think has been the best. I thought that had Rashid continued in that rich vein of form, he could have been a contender. But he's had a drop the last 2 seasons. So he's not there. I mean, again, I know that no title goes against ABD, but even he was outstanding. I mean, to get 5,000 runs at that strike rate, also insane numbers, absolute insane numbers. So as an individual, he's there, but I agree, the titles.
The universe boss has to have a mention in this conversation.
No, I agree.
Because people are talking about, kind of wickets, baseball, this ball, that ball, wham bam, bang bang, whatever cricket they want to be saying. But that man was doing everything that I just said 10, 12 years back. He was partying, he was jolly well partying, and then he gets a call from RCB and he suddenly, 2011, he gets drafted in the team when there was an injury and they were looking for a batter then. He wasn't even supposed to be part of the 2011 tournament.
He was unsold.
He was on some beach, gets onto a flight, and here he is, then smashing sixes all around. In fact, very interesting. Pune had the option, I think, of drafting him, but the coach back then, I think it was Jeff Marsh. I think he was the coach. He didn't want for the discipline that Chris Gayle had, for disciplinary reasons. He didn't want him. And which franchise did he score that famous 175 against?
Pune.
Exactly.
Pune
so
Warriors.
Christopher Henry Gayle, your Abhishek Sharma, Sunil Narine, Travis Head are understudy to this guy.
True. And he was doing it, you're right. He was doing it at a time where it was not the norm.
We were okay with anything over 100 strike rate because we were still getting used to T20 cricket. ODI cricket was still the holy grail of it. So if a batter was getting somewhere around 130, 135, you'd rate that batter as a very good batter. This guy was another level altogether.
He is T20's Bradman, Chris Gayle. Look at the numbers overall as well. 14,000, 20 hundreds. Combined the next 3-4.
How many sixes as well?
I think it is over 1,000
sixes, yeah. Because Rohit was also approaching that mark or something. if I remember.
Christopher Henry Gale has rewritten T20 cricket in ways no one can. But that is the tragedy. He was in a team that didn't win a single title. 1056 sixes.
How many does Rohit have?
I think he also is reaching 1000. He's also reaching. I think he must have reached 1000. Because look at it. Be it BPL, SLPL, CPL, BBL, Vitality Blast. He's done it everywhere.
If he had a show on T20 GOATs, we could have made him.
Yeah.
But today is an IPL GOAT.
I feel good. That
And
is
he's
like-
also there, of course. He's in
Yeah.
the conversation. Notable mention of a
I
GAYLE,
know.
of an ABD.
Also, David Warner.
Yeah,
David
Warner
Warner.
as well, yeah.
On his batting alone, SRH managed the unthinkable in 2016.
No,
when,
no.
when Virat was going gung-ho at
That was
973.
also Shikhar Dhawan. That was also
UV.
Bhuvneshwar Kumar.
UV.
Yeah.
UV also.
And when cutting.
When Kade, Bhuvi also.
Yeah, Mustafizur.
Hafiz.
Phase at his
Fiz and
peak
Bhuvi.
at that time. Yeah. I mean, Bhuvaneshwar, just for context, 410 runs were scored. Bhuvi, 4 overs, none for 25.
My God.
That was on that absolute road at Chinnaswamy with
Chinnaswamy.
short boundaries. 4 overs, none for 25. But still, RCB lost. That's why 2 of the greatest players in the history of the IPL have 0 titles in front of them. That is the tragedy. Oh, I think it's international sixes. T20s. T20s. Huh. This is combined if you have and 300 in IPL. 500 sixes. Not even close. I mean, even if you look at the top. Yeah. But 1056 in just T20s. Number of hundreds, compare it with the next 2-3. He will still be ahead of them. That is Chris Gale for you. But
Okay, since a lot of them are saying worst overseas player if you had to pick.
what was that one suggestion?
Let's quickly go.
As per recent
Let's
memory.
quickly go to the comment. There's someone who's pointed Odeon Smith, Syed Nizamuddin is saying.
Oh, Sheldon Cottrell.
Sheldon Cottrell, there's another name. Tymal Mills.
Ben Stokes. Never had that much of an impact.
But not but worst.
He didn't
Just
do
100.
Underperformed versus the worst.
16.25 crores. He played 2 games, went out. Oh, no, he had one good game here against. No, you will not remember. I know that.
the Grandome.
RCB, 49 all out. He had a very good game there, Colin de Grandhomme. Yeah, but then for me, Sheldon Cottrell, the salute went away. He went away.
Okay, we're going to take a few comments. We've got Chaitanya Bagai. He says Warner, if you can just. He says Warner, an all-time overseas GOAT in IPL, most consistent and won IPL as a captain. True. Yes, we discussed that. That is true. But we gave our reasons why we picked a Pollard or a NARINE respectively. Sarat Chandra is saying, Nikhil sir, Pollard is the greatest overseas player for IPL. He was our savior in the finals, one of the best fielders and a useful bowler and a character. Close second could be NARINE or Malinga. Good point, Sarat Chandra, and that's exactly where our discussion went towards.
Yes, yes.
Little
Odeon Smith.
Okay, Priyanshu says my top 2 are Pollard and NARINE. Pollard for clutch and NARINE is a freak. He can win orange cap plus purple cap together. Also, NARINE seems to win the longevity battle he won yesterday. Correct. So Priyanshu is also making similar points as all of us.
But
had
yaar,
made.
again, Pollard started playing from 2008 onwards. NARINE started in 2012. I mean, Pollard, if you look at it, Trinidad and Tobago Red Steel. Yeah. Trinidad and Tobago Red Steel. He got them to the CLT20 final. So, but they lost to the New South Wales Blues in that sense. So,
Change. Comments in it. Sure, Okay, we've got Harshal Gede. He says David Warner, no one comes even close to him. He even competes with Virat, and other than him, AB and Pollard. That's his personal opinion. Dex has gone with ABD. He feels ABD is the right one. Shubham Garg says on Narine versus Pollard, Narine has questionable action also. Ashwin once said bowling off spin with full sleeves is not off spin, it's something else. But Shubham, he's gone through, he has been banned, he's gone through all possible tests and things. So, you know, I also don't like this commentary from us on the outside questioning somebody, and I didn't even like it for a Muthaiya Muralidharan. There are authorities in place, let them do their job. They went through those tests, they were given a clean sheet, and then they bowled after that.
But Narine was subjected to intense scrutiny, and I didn't like it at all. Because an off spinner has very limited arsenals here. He can either get an off spin or the dusra. I know somebody as gifted as Saklane, he couldn't have that noticeable change of action. Yeah. But not everybody can be a Saklane. I mean, I know Saeed Ajmal had a 42-degree flex when he bowled the dusra. But it worked for a time. Why can't they have such kind of an action? I mean, Muralidharan, that illusion of chucking, which never went away from him.
There are plenty who says that for right armers it's almost like a near impossible thing, which is why.
No, you have your rules in place, whatever they may be, and let everyone go through it, and if they're fine, let them play, and then stop questioning them. Simple as that. If they're not, you ban them. Simple.
But he bowled the only super over maiden in history. That's the thing. Rakesh Bhushan, should we take that, or should we take some more comments on the GOAT thing?
If there are more, we can. Otherwise, we can take this.
Let's just check if there are more in that.
Chaitanya says worst overseas player is Glenn Maxwell.
I don't disagree with him.
No, but he's had one good season.
One good, but that was ages ago.
I agree, but when you look at worst, it has to be somebody who just did not have anything good.
But Jamieson had he played 2-3 seasons.
But that's not enough now.
By that logic, even Adam Zampa.
Then to Kareem Jannat, why are you saying he's also not played too many seasons?
That the people are just, it's very recent memory, na?
Yeah.
Okay. Dex says you say that trophies are needed to be GOAT. Then tell me why Johan Cruyff is called a GOAT without winning a World Cup. Cruyff is not called the GOAT. I think, you know, GOAT is a title that's reserved for people like a Pele, a Maradona and a Messi. First things first. Cruyff is arguably one of the greatest to have played the sport. Completely agree. And Cruyff's legacy is built more than as a player, but as a person who revolutionized football, even as a coach. So all of that goes into making Cruyff the person that he is. I don't think anyone can say that Cruyff was GOAT of football. So he was not in that conversation. But yes,
impact-wise.
Cruyff, yeah, but that is an impact to the sport, right? Yeah. So you look at it that way. But again, I don't think that, see again, it's not a question. See, if you're looking at just IPL, then you'll have to look at the IPL trophy. I think so. It's only fair. Does a trophy, one trophy only define a player? No. But some trophies do. Na? My point is, if Sachin did not win the World Cup, it wouldn't have reduced his demeanor as such. But then in his sport, there were other things that you needed to look at as well, right? Those were test wins and various performances in test matches, man of the match. There are other ways of looking at it. In football also, if Messi did not win the World Cup, it's another thing, but you look at Champions League, you look at other factors. So one World Cup cannot define, but you have to see the contribution per se in the entire sport. So if you're looking at IPL, then we thought, and again, it's not necessary you have to have an IPL title. We just put it as one other parameter. Everyone was free to pick whoever they want.
Yeah.
So for example, Machli Ki Aankh. He has picked Shane Warne. By the way, Shane Warne is someone we spoke of, but then again, very short while in the IPL.
Of course, we didn't, Augustin Sibi also, we didn't forget DJ Bravo. He's there in the list.
We did in fact discuss.
But against the pedigree of a Pollard or a Narine and a Malinga, he's a distant fourth.
Maybe if you made an all-time overseas 11, he might feature in that. Bravo is a good possibility.
Easily.
But just to be the GOAT was tough.
Yeah. See, he won 2 titles. There's no denying that. He and Shane Watson have won 2 titles. Although Bravo won it with the same side, Watson's won with 2 different sides.
Yeah.
So it was a tough one, and we don't want to leave. He didn't leave anybody out, but just that the other 2-3, how can you argue against their impact?
Muzammil says, Nikhil sir, GAYLE has most T20 hundreds. You know who the second one is?
I think it is Arun Finch, if I'm not mistaken.
Arun Finch.
Aaron Finch or Rohit Sharma. I think it's Aaron Finch. How much as
It's
I
a
know.
possibility. You're right. Aaron Finch is a good shout out. Do let us know in that. Sarat Chandra is saying, Nick sir, want to clarify one thing, that some are stating that ABD or GAYLE are best overseas, but isn't considered as they haven't won. Will Virat be included in best IPL players if he doesn't win? That's why I said it's not a necessity, but it just adds on. It's another, argument to hold on to when you're discussing who needs to come in. If it's a close call, you look at titles. And then if there is someone with 0 titles, someone with 4 or 5, then you see the gap there, right? And I agree that if you're just picking as a individual player, then title is a team effort. But as I said, it's one other parameter that helps us decide as to who's that one or not. Okay, Shubham Gar says, can we have one live votes on GOAT? Okay, let's quickly have one if you can. So you can just put 4, na?
GAYLE, NARINE, DeVilliers, Malinga.
You haven't put Pollard, the one that these two.
GAYLE, NARINE, DeVilliers, Pollard.
Okay. Just put this out.
Yep, it will be up soon. So yes, you can.
We can't put more than 4 options. So we're going to be winding up the show very soon. So you'll have to quickly cast your votes now. It's already live, the poll.
Yeah.
And we'll see your results. Just go to that other question. We'll try and address it in the meanwhile, which is not related to this. And then we come back and see the poll.
So.
No, it was not here. Question. Yeah. Now take the.
Okay, Rakesh Bhushan is saying Digvesh Rathi is penalized. VK is left out. Same way, Irfan and Harsha are penalized. Sunny is overlooked for the comments of stupid. Why BCCI fears catching big fist and control over lesser
No,
mortals
but I
only?
don't think anything happened to Sunny for that comment. He's there. Harsha has clarified himself. He's not been penalized. For Digvesh Rathi, we all were of the opinion. I don't think BCCI has much to do with it, but we were all of the opinion that it was an unfair thing. But that's really not to muzzle the voice. I think they're being strict disciplinarians, which is not needed. And we've already spoken on that. So, the only one who's been unfortunate here is Irfan Pathan. And I think that really needs to be looked at as to why that's happened.
Yeah, but then even Sunny didn't make it in an Indian broadcast, right? He made an Australian broadcast.
Yeah, but anyway, there has been no action.
There's been no action. Yeah. Dhanush is saying Rayudu won 6 IPL trophies, but nobody calls him. But this is overseas here, Dhanush.
No, but even if you're booking Indian, you also have to look at the individual performances. Na? As I said, I repeatedly am saying that the titles are just another benchmark or another parameter that will help us zero in on a player. But that's not the be all and end all of it.
And again, Dhanush, this was the best overseas player. As far as I know, Rayudu is from Hyderabad.
No, but he was saying in general. So that way you will say he's the GOAT overall with 6 titles.
6 titles.
But that's not what we're just looking at, na Dhanush. That's what I'm saying.
Ro has 6 IPL titles.
Yeah. Abhishek Rawat is saying Butler can also have can be one of the greatest after a few more seasons. Good point.
Yeah. Good
point. He was there in our discussion. But didn't make it.
Indeed.
There's a good chance he makes it, yeah. Okay, so we've got about 100 votes now.
It's a dead heat between ABD and Pollard.
Ooh.
Which is why I think that is the impact of AB de Villiers. The first 360 player in cricket history.
Yeah, his numbers are also phenomenal.
He made peak Dale Steyn look mortal. Ended the fear of Dale Steyn, literally. So,
Quick comments before we...
Pollard with a slight edge now,
Okay.
Oh, second one is Babar Azam. Babar has the second most number of hundreds.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. But
Muzammil, thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah.
We'll have it checked.
We'll have it checked. Yeah. So, Babar Azam.
Freaking Awesome says if people think Kareem Jannat shouldn't play, then Stuart Broad shouldn't have played after UV hit him for 6 sixes and over. It happens to any cricketer. Any player can make a comeback if they work hard. Good point. Absolutely.
There's a Yash Dayal as well in this IPL.
Yeah, but there's another cautionary tale of a Sheldon Cottrell.
Yeah.
GAYLE 22, Babar Azam 11, Virat 9.
9.
So, okay, Babar is there. Shivam, please, today you are not really there in the comments, please.
Yeah.
We've taken
You've
all
taken
of that, sir.
Huh. Then, okay. Dex is saying, do you all think ABD is Johan Cruyff of cricket, the way their career went?
It's an interesting comparison.
That is.
But you know, as I said, Johan Cruyff had a massive impact on football as a manager as well. ABD is yet to do that. Unless he does become...
But don't you think he's already had an impact? This 360 way. That's how Surya got inspired. A lot of people...
He did.
If the ramp, the sweep and everything... If a De Villiers could do it, then everybody was inspired to do it. Na? Dilshan, I know, got the Dil scoop, but that was much earlier. But the whole array, offside, leg side, behind, straight, no one better than Abraham Benjamin De Villiers.
Okay, last couple of comments. Manan Gupta says, hi Nikhil sir, if you want to pick a greatest individual player in a team sport, what would you give more weightage? Individual stats, performances or trophies that individual has won? What is more important? Of course, individual, because we are just picking a player, individual performances. But some trophies with it just add to his profile. That's what I've said. Rishi Cricket Edits is saying trophies should not be criteria for selecting IPL GOATs. By that logic, Virat and Sachin in international cricket, if Virat is greater since he has 5 ICC trophies where Sachin has 1. Balanced team wins you trophies. So we've said that, Rishi.
Actually, Sachin
Why
has
are people
2.
going on and on about it? If you've said it a number of times, the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Sachin
quickly...
has 2. 2 ICC, no? Champions Trophy 2002.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Devendra Singh Meena is saying Samsung is GOAT at number 3 in IPL.
Yeah. AVD most MOM in IPL, RCB can't win because of bowling. Prince Singh Rajput. Another debate altogether.
Okay, let's see the poll and then we'll call it a evening.
Yes.
So the final poll results, about 120 votes. ABD wins it.
Wins it?
37%.
37%.
Wow, I like all your views and opinion. Thank you for that. He was an honorable mention in our list as well because of his pure numbers.
Yep.
But I think...
We've had a say.
Yeah.
We were in...
But good to know from you guys as well, as always.
Yeah.
Indeed. So yes, it's now time for... I think today is the 50th game of IPL.
I'm not sure about the count.
Yeah, but it is a crucial one. Today we will have one E confirmed. 49th.
But if they win, there is no E. na?
Then there is no E. If Chennai lose, then E confirmed.
Yes. If they lose, there's an E.
Yeah.
If there's...
And if Punjab lose, golden opportunity missed for them.
Yeah, because they can go to number 2. They're at 11
Yes.
right now, sitting at number 5. They win, they get 2 points, and they jump to number 2.
Yes, and
That
but it's
really-
5-1 in the last 6 games for Punjab against CSK.
It is 6-1 in fact.
6-1 And
They've won
Chennai have lost 4 consecutive at home. Not looking
Chennai
good.
it'll be the first time. I was looking through the numbers.
Yes,
First time
yes.
if they lose today, that in an IPL campaign, CSK lose 5 matches at the Chepauk.
Oof. Yep. Plenty at stake today also.
Plenty at stake.
Yeah, but if Punjab lose this, then the greatest 6th place team in T20 cricket history. Yeah.
Will you attribute the 6th spot to them?
They'll still
or-
be
but
game
then-
will be on.
Yeah.
They'll still be 5th, by the way, on the points table.
Yes.
So anything could happen.
Delhi Capitals have to pray.
Yes, Delhi needs CSK to win today.
Yeah. So I think they will end this jinx today. I
Okay,
think.
quick picks.
Chepauk. It's Chennai who's winning it. I think they'll end the streak today.
I'm also backing Chennai, not for Delhi's sake, but I think they're due a win.
I'm going with Punjab.
Ah.
Okay, final comment for the evening from Arvind B. He says, Faf is the true GOAT, shows up in playoffs, finals, even won CLT20. Unlike some RCB legends, he actually wins trophies when it matters.
He won the CLT20.
No, he's not the GOAT, but yes, we discussed Faf too before we were making our list. He didn't make our list for obvious reasons, because I think overall his commitment can never be doubted. He's one of those overseas players who really gives it his best.
Yep.
But in terms of GOAT, we had to look at body of work.
Yeah.
And he didn't really get there. Abhishek Rawat, Baz is also someone that we spoke about. Brendan McCullum, but again, did not make a GOAT shortlist.
Exactly. So, yep. Half an hour, in 27 minutes, we'll be back for the toss. CSK versus PBKS at Chepauk. So, do join us for all the latest sporting updates from me, Nikhil and Harshit. That is, bye-bye. See you soon.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
See ya.